And welcome once again to the 𝕄𝔸𝕊𝔋𝕀𝔽𝔽 Pub, where we always open on time, serve prose by the pint, and we've got poetry on the draft. And some art, which is really what most people would be here for. Maybe that's why we don't have enough customers.
Because everyone's looking for poetry.
Yeah, I guess.
It's poetry in motion.
There once was a comic from Nantucket. Did you see the teaser trailer for the Fantastic Four movie?
Nope.
Huh. Yep.
I've seen a couple of pictures. I don't like who they chose to play any of the characters. Ben Grimm's face looked alright. That was it.
Yeah, I was like, "Phew, that did not really." And maybe I'm not their target audience. Maybe I'm I don't know. I'm aged out. I don't know, but it just seems like they had the perfect casting staring at them, and they said, "Nah, we'll go some other direction," and then. That's cool as long as it pays off. And
What did you think the perfect casting was?
well, they had what's his name? John Krasinski and
Yeah, I like him for Reed Richards.
yeah. I mean, they already had him once. I mean, you could have just
Yeah, for only for a second. Yeah.
I know, but still could have redeemed that role. His wife would have been perfect.
Absolutely should have.
Emily Blunt could have been Sue Richards. Would have been a married couple. Would be great. As for, I don't mind who they have for Ben Grimm.
Who do they have for Ben Grimm?
I've seen him in The Bear. I don't remember his name, but I think it's The Bear that I've seen it, like clips from. But he's, to me, always kind of played a more blue collar guy, and that's what Ben Grimm was supposed to be. And I think that worked for me.
Ben Grimm's a blue collar guy.
Well, he's never been the smart one. He's always been the.
Well, he says it's clobbering time, but he is actually supposed to be smart. He's not as smart as Reed Richards, but
yeah, but they always play him more up like the.
Oh, I know.
So, I think that guy would have worked for it, but I got nothing, and I mean nothing whatsoever from whoever they got for Johnny Storm. And I get that, really you're looking at a guy on fire. That's what you're looking for. So maybe you don't need anybody.
Well, if you put it that way.
Well, it's just I'm like, I can't. I watched that 30 minutes ago. I couldn't tell you he's blonde, white guy. That's it. That's all I know. I'm just like, I have no clue. And
well, the actor that's playing Ben Grimm is Eben Moss Backrack.
Yeah.
He was in The Punisher.
Okay.
That's what it says. He was in The Punisher and The Bear.
Yeah, well, I remember him from The Bear. And he got...
Yeah, I've seen all the Punishers, so I don't... Oh, you know what? I know who he was. It's the Netflix Punisher. He was Microchip.
Okay.
Like, you seen the Netflix Punisher?
Yeah, but that's been like 10 years ago. Like,
Yeah, but it wasn't like the microchip from the comic books. It was a younger guy that was
right, but I'm just saying I don't remember. That wasn't what I was
basically
watching.
they made microchip Edward Snowden.
So
I don't know if he's the guy that I would choose.
I don't think he's the guy I would have chosen, but I'm
Not
like, all
voice,
right.
not anything really.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be bad, but and I don't know who I would have chosen for Johnny Storm personally. Like I don't. I mean, at least Sue Storm and Johnny Storm are actually related in this, so thumbs up for that. But I just I don't know. I wish they would have gotten somebody that I could have gotten some personality out of, and I just didn't feel it there. But
What? No Chris Evans?
I don't mind not having Chris Evans. In fact, I prefer him as Captain America over Johnny Storm. But
No, he sucks. Captain America. You mean because he doesn't represent America?
yeah, but that was
Nope. That was started by him.
was it?
Oh yeah, because he said he should really be called Captain Good.
Oh God, yeah, that would have sold well. You genius.
Joseph Quinn is the new one to play Johnny Storm.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh. Wow. Well, I guess I don't need to see that movie at all. So, first of all, he's the one that played Eddie Munson in Stranger Things. Guy who played the guitar solo.
Ah, okay. Well, I did not get that from it.
Um, yeah, so Johnny Storm's he's the coolest looking character of the Fantastic Four because he's on fire, but he's really kind of an arrogant shithead anyway. So, like,
I'm just saying I got nothing.
no, I'm saying as well that look what they gave us.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I just whatever. That looked like I'll watch that sometime on streaming maybe, but whew, that Fantastic Four is a tough nut to crack. Unless you're the Incredibles, but anyway,
Well, it would be a lot better if they tried to do what the comic does and not what they're trying to do.
I have no idea. I just
Well, you're not. They're, you know that they're not trying to do what Jack Kirby was meaning to do.
I know, but I know, and some of that was just like, oh look, it's Kirby and that I'm like I don't understand why these are the things they think are going to sell these IPs. I mean, you haven't seen it yet, but there's a good portion of the trailer where it's the Thing tasting the stupid robot's sauce. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's what they're going with. So I don't know. I've always thought that the Fantastic Four was actually a pretty. I mean, just it's a dynamic that's nostalgic, but I don't know if it necessarily works anymore. Plus, I
I,
was never all
I
that interested in comics.
I think it could work. It's just nobody wants to actually do what it's supposed to be. You know, they're it's like redoing the Bionic Man, right? you could do it. You could be successful. You could be like way better than the original if you wanted to, but they don't want to. Same thing with Beauty and the Beast and everything else. They're not trying to be better than what they're they're just trying to ride the coattails of what was there before. Like and the the political correct aspect of it just ruins it. I don't know. Uh, I don't know how Jack Kirby would have felt about the whole PC business, but I do know that those are his characters, and they are not how he wanted his characters, right?
Right.
So, if nothing else, this is a man that should actually be honored. But if you're gonna do his, and that was his principal, like his what do you call it? Uh, Now I'm lost for the word.
Oh, okay.
That was his uh, flagship characters.
Okay.
That when he did Fantastic Four is Jack Kirby. You know, he did so much stuff for Marvel, and he did so much actually stuff for comic books in general. But uh, that was stuff that he was dealing with coming back from World War II, which is why you had your Doctor Dooms and your uh, that type of uh, villain. So, but they have actually these are the same people that are just basically trying to throw away everything that we fought for at that time, as if it was really nothing anyway. So that's why they're never going to do a successful Fantastic Four, is because they don't understand the underlying concept of what they're doing. But that's my opinion. What do I know?
You know nothing. You are crazy internet crackpot. And that's why we love you.
Did you watch that Mignola show that I recommended?
The what show?
Mignola, Mike Mignola.
Nope. Because I
You
can't
don't know?
can't recall you recommending it.
It's it's right there.
Right
It's right
where?
there in the Discord. It's literally I said that last night.
Oh, no. The last thing I remember, so there was the thing I had said. Yeah, 10? I don't think I was even. What is today? Oh, yeah, I was working. And
I don't
then,
know. Your icon was lit up, so I mentioned it, and you
oh,
never responded. So
it's
I
because
figured you either watched it or didn't, and I would ask you today, which is what I did.
no, I've did not even. No. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll watch that tomorrow. By the way, I think you know this. Uh, I'll just put it in the chat, just to make sure you know. Anyway, So I will not be available Thursday.
And make sure we're streaming at the highest level we can. So, yep. Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So we'll either not do a Thursday show or, well, I'm gonna work on the layouts anyway, and then I kind of want to play around with inking, so
Okay.
maybe I'll just do a poster like thing. So yeah, like I I I want to be able to talk to you about what I saw, or what I noticed, or what my thoughts are on the Mignola thing. Uh, the second half of it, or third of it, the third of it, or second half of it, is mostly about the Hellboy movie.
Okay.
Uh, but it's the first either half or two thirds that really kind of struck me, gave me some ideas.
Okay. I shall watch that tomorrow.
I gotta go back to the main comments. Maybe my mouse is acting up. Everything's acting up.
Well, your camera didn't shoot out, so
Well, because I had my hand on the mouse and I just fixed it. So I didn't have to worry about going over and refixing it because I just did.
hello, Oscar the Crouch.
Awesome, Nick.
Uh, Oscar the Crouch. That's delightful.
See, I'm gonna play around with those inking pens,
Okay.
probably on this, but they're gonna react differently because this is copy paper, and you don't want to waste good paper for.
Well, I'm hoping to be home by then, but I also know that sometimes they get like if I stop family stuff to come stream, they get grumpy. So even though it's pretty well, thank you, Oscar the Crouch. Even though it's pretty well established when we stream, the wife gives me the look. So
Yeah, Eli is determined that I'm streaming whether I want to or feel like it or not.
that's a good boy.
I'm trying to watch the vote tonight, and he's all anxious and starting to take stuff over, like took my plug over, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna blow this up a little bit for myself. Stop taking me away. Yeah, we're in that stage of you're still fainting, so I'm still guessing.
What do you mean you're guessing? You told me what I'm drawing. You described the panel.
Well, I get that, but I also have like if you take liberty with whatever I put, I've unless it was something where I was like, oh, absolutely, that had to be there. Like Chekhov's gun or something. But I, other than that, I'm not worried too much.
Here, let's see.
Oh,
I ain't promising it won't look like crap.
okay.
Oh, this is for the size of the tip. This is a lot smaller than what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, he was saying that on paper that didn't have the same toothier surfaces,
Yeah.
um, that it would probably smear as more than do the fine stuff that he was doing. But this is all he used is for inking, and I can really see why. How's that looking? You see it?
Yeah.
Well, you were the one that just said that. Just said that it was still light.
It was. Oh, that is a really neat emoji, Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Crouch. It's uh, it's Bob Ross just kind of. I've been checking my poop on screen.
What's that?
Oh, I was putting his little Bob Ross on screen because that way the YouTubers can see it too. It's not just for the Twitch people. Yeah, so they're calling for uh, 4 inches of snow Wednesday, and
Yeah,
then
they're calling for snow for us too. I think pretty soon.
and yeah, that'll. So now instead of getting up at I think 4, my wife wants to get up at 6 or at 3:30. Wow, it's pretty early. Oh,
No thanks.
oh,
Why does she want to get up at 3:30?
because we have to drive down to Indy.
Oh, you mean the day of?
Yeah,
Well, yeah. There's a little bit of a concern if it's snowing and she's half blind.
well, yeah, but I'm the one driving.
Half blind and can't see out the other eye.
That's why she finds me attractive.
Hey, yeah, that's marketable.
No, I'll be the one driving down and back. I mean, uh, she's just there for eye candy, basically. I don't know, just moral support of the kid. So,
Well, yeah.
yeah, I don't plan on doing much other than having some identification. Other than driving down. That's the worst. We have to drive down, sit, and then drive home. Yeah, that'll be a fun, restful day. Meanwhile, I've got to get like everything ready for my classes Thursday done tomorrow night. That's when I start having mistakes happen that annoy the crap out of me.
I can see how these would be really good inking pens on the right surface. I don't think they want to draw cleanly on this surface because I'm drawing over pencil and it's a smooth surface. Yeah. Well, these will actually help me not try to draw so tight. They mark really, really easy.
That's good.
Actually, these pens lay out lines almost too easy.
And what makes a good inking pen?
Oh, you know that's the taste.
Okay, just
It what makes a good inking pen is that you are good with it. It does what you want it to do. Um, so this is actually an O an '05, which is a lot of regular clicker pencils.
uh,
But see how fine of a line I'm getting?
yeah.
That's usually not the case when you get a like even with the Copics, they can't give me that fine a line. So it it's a good thing, but it's also something that you have to be cautious with because you may get a line that you're not even trying to. Like it's a good thing that this isn't art that we're gonna actually put in the comic. It's just a layout. But I'm really kind of impressed with how easy the lines are laying.
It's
Like I
blurry.
said, impressed and cautious because
Kevin
it's
is
just
blurry.
so easy to get something you're not really looking for.
It's still blurry. Blurry Ridge.
Fix your eyes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I have been healed. It was amazing. It reminds me, I was going for something tonight.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do Thursday. I'm going to do something small so that I can ink it, or maybe even have something already ready. Maybe. Of course, we know how that's not really like me, but do some line weights pretty easy. So is that going to be an all-day thing, or?
Uh, yeah, to some extent. Like, I don't think the procedure takes a lot. I think the anesthetic takes forever, as I
Yeah, I
understand
was
it.
going to say I don't know the actual details, so but like,
Yeah, as I understand it, like the whole thing is supposed to take, I think, like 6 hours. Not like I don't think the actual procedure takes that long at all. I just think that's what they said to assume you're going to be at the hospital for. Um, so I don't really know. And then it's of course how bad are the roads coming back up, and then yeah, all that kind of fun stuff.
right, weather's definitely going to be a factor.
Yep. See, what's funny was earlier when I said I was still guessing because you were being too light. It's because of that serpenty eel thing on the left hand side. I couldn't tell what the heck that was. Now, you know, knowing what it is, it means. But yeah, I was like, is that a hand? Like, what the heck? Like, I just didn't know. And, you know, as always, Rich, went around a little bit, and then all of a sudden, oh, there it is. That's awesome. So, I've been playing around with Clipchamp and slowly learning more about because no one's teaching me. So, slowly learning more about the program and whatnot. And the other night, I found some of the free sound things that you can use. They're already programmed in. And so there was like a list of like their different files or categories, whatever. And one of them was the most downloaded sounds. And most of those you had to pay for. Like I was like, no, I'm not paying for anything. But I thought it was funny. One of the most popular downloaded sounds was the sensor horn sound. It's like, oh, that would be a good one to probably have. I mean, obviously not for the kind of stuff that I do, because I don't. I had to worry more about the some of the images. I was like, whoa, hey, especially when there's supposedly all kinds of safety features on stuff that I'm using. So out of just enough curiosity to ask you, but not enough curiosity for me to actually Google it. Was there ever like a metal band called Stricken?
Stricken?
Yeah, Stricken.
I don't think so. Not that I know of. There was a Strychnine. I don't think that was metal.
Stricken is one of the vocab words for this week. So, I was using AI to make a video for it. And the first thing that it gave me, well, because I asked for like a cubist horror surgery theater. Because, I'm dealing with the moms of 12 and 13-year-olds. Like, I have to make sure that that's really the person I have to worry about when I have to worry about, like, how much of gore or anything I can include in a visual. And there was still blood all over it. I was like, well, no, okay. Like, I could probably get away if it wasn't red, but it was all red. So I changed up my prompt to be black light vinyl art horror surgery theater with the word stricken, because I needed that for a thumbnail. And man, it gave me some great pictures. No way can I use those for my class. Like one, like the guy's been disemboweled and it's on the table. It's just like, whoa. Like, this is definitely more metal than I could do. And I was trying to, I'm trying to manage this prompt because the look is pretty cool, but it's like I gotta get it tamer. And then it gave me one, and it was, it's such a cool image, but this chick has her zipper down below her cleavage, and I was like, nah, not putting that on there. That'll get me in trouble.
Not like the Grammys?
I don't. I heard something about what's his face? What, his wife was naked or something?
Yeah, Kanye West. She's basically just wearing a diaphanous dress with no underwear.
Jeez.
Apparently got arrested for indecent exposure.
Well, maybe that's because she was indecently exposing herself. They're rich; they can afford the fee.
Oh, I'm sure. It was all a publicity stunt anyway, so.
Oh, I know. Got to get noticed somehow.
Gotta be relevant.
Here we are. We're talking.
You hear I guess there's a lot of them were all preaching DEI and all this other stuff. DEI is not wrong, and like, yeah, right. So, like, we should take your jobs away because everybody is black and replace them with all whites and give them Grammys.
Well, it should be more of a, they're always looking for equity of outcomes. So,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at, really.
Yeah, when I had family posting stuff about DEI not being, it's basically it was this big kumbaya movement, supposedly. I'm like, no, it's not. It directly negatively affects my children.
And the planes that are dropping out of the sky.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yes, whatever. I think that's a bit of a stretch right now, but I get it.
I don't know if it's a bit of a stretch. We'll see when the black box comes in, but
right.
The people in the tower, they had been turning down people that were qualified, that were the highest qualified, in their graduating classes for DEI. So the air traffic controllers are the ones that tell you which lane to fucking fly in. It's just stupid, really. Is all that it comes down to is it's just all bullshit. Like if you were concerned with uh, getting your customers safely where they're going and making them want to be return business, you would make sure that the most qualified people were there. That's the problem with DEI, is that it doesn't make sure the most qualified people are there. That's the only real problem with it, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's like, if I'm not against hiring someone that's of any color or persuasion. I'm against hiring someone that's not as qualified as somebody else for the sake of color or persuasion. Because that doesn't do anything. It just makes it bad for the people that are trying to claim that that no matter what their beliefs or whatever are just as good as anybody else. I mean, if you're claiming that, but yet you're not getting there on merit, and then shit happens, I don't know. I think that directly relates. It's not saying that somebody should or shouldn't hire somebody that's of color or whatever. It's just saying make sure that they have the skills. I don't believe that there are no people of color or whatever with the skills. You just need to look better, I guess. Spend a few more minutes making sure. I don't know how you'd feel, but I'd feel pretty pissed off if I found out the only reason I got hired was to check a box.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I've always, like, I don't even know what month is Native American month or whatever it was, Native American Heritage Month or whatever it was. But someone slapped a laminated photo of some author who's a Native American up by my door at work. I was like, is she a good author or is she a good Native American author? Like, I would not want my writing to. Well, he's good for a white guy.
So, the guy that I was talking about that wrote the Buffalo Hunter,
Yeah.
he's Native American, and he's a good writer.
Yeah, so he's just a good writer?
Yep. Well, he's not just a good writer. He's also a teacher.
Yeah,
He's
I'm saying he's a good. He doesn't have to put any other qualifier on his writing. It's good
no,
writing.
I wasn't putting any qualifier on it. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that's a case in point. He's a Native American, but if you look at his name, you wouldn't think so because his name's like Stephen Graham. But he is, in fact, a bestseller. He writes kind of comedy horror. I didn't read anything from him disparaging anyone from writing about Native American stuff. You know what I mean? He's not like, oh, it's our stuff and you need to be a Native American to write it or whatever. So it doesn't appear that he has a strong stance on uh, that being the reason he is where he is. And when I was reading it, I didn't know anything about him. I just was reading it because it was a advanced reader's copy, and I learned this stuff about him afterwards. But I wouldn't have thought that he was Native American just by the way that the prose is or whatever. Like he does have Native Americans in there, but they they don't seem to be, you know, treated any different than any other character in the story. And the main characters in the story are really the descendant of or a uh, white Protestant priest. You know what I mean? So
yep.
he's not like, oh, it has to be, you know, this. I don't know. I feel like, yeah. Let me try to carefully avoid just saying I feel like. A lot of the stuff that I read that uh, that's promoted because it's group X, Y, or Z. It's about group X, Y, or Z. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes that's right in the submission call.
Huh?
Well, okay, so like if it's a not, or even yes, there are. I've seen publishing houses that say they want this is what we want, and it's like they want stories about this group or that group or by this group, and you know it kind of seems like yeah, that's kind of what they want to publish. They want to publish about a certain group or about groups. Which it's one of
You're
the
talking about marginalized groups, right? So
yeah.
like we're not beating around the bush. But what I'm actually saying is that I understand that there are a lot of publishers and magazines or whatever that um, are looking for stories about African Americans, Native Americans, anything other than a white person. Um, but what I'm saying is that some people that have made their claim to fame on African futurism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that I mind that they're writing African futurism or whatever because I don't. Um, but when they don't try to see anything through another person's eyes, and that's what they want everybody else to do, you know.
Yeah.
So they're limited in their scope to what they don't want anybody else to be limited in their scope for.
Something like that, yeah.
Hmm.
it's just like I think there was that guy that was. I think you said you knew him. That for an anthology, he wanted adventure stories with married couples, and he specified he wanted them to be hetero couples, and didn't exclude any type of author. Just said, "I want stories about hetero adventurers," and people threw a fit. I'm like, I've seen that exact type of thing for gay couples. No one bats an eye. I'm sorry, but if it's wrong one way, it's wrong both ways. So I just personally, I'm like, if you want to, I I don't know. I have a hard time saying that you can't have a collection of stories about uh, married adventure couples. It just seems stupid to say that you can't.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be about that any kind of defense of traditional marriage or anything like that. It's just that's what it wanted to focus on, and to think you have a right to be represented in someone else's art is to me kind of narcissistic and evil. Okay, for the record, I would have. The way I thought about it was more like top panel, two middle panels, and then a bottom panel.
But you didn't say one tier on the top,
Well, I just I
second
don't.
and third
That's
on the
because I
second
don't.
tier.
I don't care per se. I'm just saying. So when you were saying how is he going to point into the next panel, it's because I was like, well, because I thought you'd want to point towards the other direction.
I'm pointing towards the way it reads, from that panel to that panel to this panel to that panel.
Okay.
I'm not even really sure, like, because part of it says that there's bars on this, and but he's pointing it out as if those bars are got a big enough gap that monsters can get through.
Well, they're only big enough. The uh, the sewer worm thing is only so big. I mean, why would you not have some kind of bars on the thing just to keep out the really big things? Hey, it's Ephraim! Hey, Ephraim wants to know if you think that the pyramids in Machu Picchu were made by aliens.
Like, like illegal aliens.
Knew it! I knew it! Ah,
You know, probably they were like, well, we'd get rid of them, but who would pick our strawberries and build our pyramids?
oh, it's-
We'd have to pay Egyptians Egyptian wage and benefits.
didn't they pay their people pretty darn well to build the pyramids? Wasn't it like a good job?
Um, Depends on who you ask,
Okay.
but they didn't really have any coin. They Their payment was food, kind of like the Japanese and Chinese, where they're a unit of measurement, koku or something, that's actually a measurement of rice.
I'm seriously trying to press my face closer to the picture because I'm dumb. It's not going to change that much.
What you probably want to do is just wait for me to throw the eraser around. Did Ephraim run away?
What?
Did Ephraim run away? I said.
Well, after we asked about pyramids and Machu Picchu, I guess it responded.
Right. And the number tanked. So I don't know. Maybe it was personal, another joke.
Sorry, Ephraim. All right, I gotta do my midstream stroll. I'll be right back. Sorry, I press my buttons. Back in a minute. I have returned. It's the beard. I think most of this beard is going to have to go soon. I can't handle it. Thanks, best viewers. Or salient emergency, but the best viewers are already here. I love when the spam bots come. I feel like I've done my job. Uh,
Wow.
I'd say these are the fastest panels you've done.
Yeah, that's because they're not all that great. I have an idea that I have to get some reference for what I'm trying to do with all of this, really. I jumped in today just reading the panel just a few minutes before we actually got started, so. I think mostly what I'm doing is just laying this down really quick so that I can mull it over for a little bit and see what it needs to be, what I need to pay attention to. I've mentioned it before, but I'm thinking an awful lot about simplifying stuff. And yes, I know I'm not simplifying stuff right now, but
No, I just find it funny.
I'm actually not drawing the whole thing. I mean, this is a lot more simplified, you know.
Yeah. No, I just when I'm a lot of times there's a stage in my writing where it'll need to be simplified. Like I will have overcomplicated stuff, and it's like, nope, let's simplify. Let's get rid of this. Let's focus on the main plot line, that kind of thing.
Well, you know, I've been talking about it for a while, but watching that 𝕄𝔸𝕊 program, documentary, whatever you want to call it, really made me think about it. Well, that's an idea. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know if I like the. I don't know if I like the riding geckos.
well, I just threw something in there. I didn't care what they looked like.
I was assuming that, but I was trying to keep it close to the script for now. I'm like, what are you watching, a Geico commercial?
No, I was just trying to think about. I was actually thinking about feet. Just the type of feet I wanted to see. No.
Feet?
Yep.
There's no feet in comic books.
Okay. Okay, Rob.
Well, it's not only Rob.
Oh, I know.
That's uh, actually a whole school of thought is that you bury the feet behind set pieces.
Yeah, because they're pain in the butt to draw.
I guess it depends on who you are. John Byrne always did great feet, fucking like John Byrne, Sal Buscema, John Buscema. If you look at them doing the Hulk,
Yeah.
those toes got bends and knuckles and everything else.
I just remembered something. I had a thought.
gonna share, or are you afraid it's your only one?
I can't share. I will. I will be sharing, but just not yet. I just remembered something that. Yeah. Well, Saturday I may have something for you.
Is it Chinese food?
Yes, that's what it is. I'm. I'm going to snail mail you Chinese food.
Should be nice and tasty by the time it gets here.
That's right.
Amanda will love it.
I may have something to send you later on tonight for you to preview. I might not too. Don't get your hopes up too high.
Ah, 10 minutes. So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
that's pretty much it. I'm gonna erase this stuff and
Uh,
see how ugly it is.
so these are basically sketches. I mean, for, it's not formatting. It's what's the word for laying out the?
Layout.
Yeah, thanks. God, I hate when I do that. Earlier today, I did that with my boys. I was like, what's the word for like when you're playing video games and you go around killing a whole bunch of monsters you didn't need to just so you can get experience and money and whatever? Like when you're just grinding it through all that to get levels. And they look at me like, grinding? I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, these are layouts, but they're subject to change. They're always subject to change.
Oh, I know.
Anybody's been watching for any amount of time, they know that probably not going to be the same when I actually get started on the page. But first of all, this is not the same measurements as the page.
Well, I do like the design of the waste management. Like the close up and that. I mean, that's got a good feel to it. I like it.
The only thing that I'm a little concerned with is and it's following your direction about his hair, but it kind of looks like a little bit like Neil Gaiman. So we're gonna have to make sure it's not uh, black gray hair.
Give him a white stripe in the middle of it. Who cares? Or two, just so it's not. That's funny then, but yeah, you're right.
Well, it just occurred to me as I'm drawing. I'm like, this. I've got to be careful what I do with his wild ass hair.
It actually kind of reminds me of something like from Twardowski's Dune.
Maybe.
It just I don't I couldn't tell you what it reminds me of, other than I look at that and I just thought, oh, that's kind of like some of the stuff I've seen from Twardowski's Dune.
Yeah, give you some vibes, right?
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why I said gecko is because I was scared of it turning out like the weird chicken lizard thing from uh, Attack of the Clones that Obi-Wan rides.
Okay.
You know, right? I guess that no, I guess that would have been in Revenge of the Sith because it's right before the Order 66, and they're chasing after Grievous on that weird feathered lizard thing.
Like the raptor.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of. Did Eli fall asleep?
Yeah, probably.
What's it say? Where's the alarm?
Oh, he's just waking up.
Uh, I think it's sweet the way he kind of watches the time and stuff.
Well, he wants to get rid of me so he can lay down in my spot. And then he falls asleep anyway. So I mean, it's like if you really just wanted to lay down in my spot, or if you just really wanted to lay down, you can go to bed. No, can't go to bed. He had a game today. Scored 3 times, and he caught a long thrown ball to score, which was really cool because most of the time you throw something to him, he just lets it fall. He just watches it fucking fall right past him. But he caught it and then put it right in the basket.
Cool.
There you go. Oh, it's time, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, I'm not gonna worry about a close up. I guess I can go a little bit closer, but I don't want to do a full screen because it's just the idea. It's just a layout to give me the idea.
Yeah.
Some dramatic lighting, and I don't know if I want to do 2 forms of transport. Just whatever he's going to use for transport.
Yeah, I put that there so I didn't have to decide.
Right.
I told you I was being a jerk.
Well, I think maybe I'm going to create a lizard-like thing. If it doesn't need to necessarily be a lizard.
I know.
No, I'm just thinking because you're afraid to go aviary with it. Because, well, so that's the idea behind that is that they waver back and forth on whether dinosaurs are lizards.
Yeah, I know.
Or raptors, birds.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just you know. So what my thinking is you had the Tompa, which was kind of like a sheep lizard. It had ram's horns and a sheep's mouth and bleated like a sheep. And it had white fur. But yet
Yeah, a lizard on a snow planet.
right. It was kind of shaped like a lizard, but it, obviously.
Yeah, I think it was still supposed to be more.
But
Well,
if you think about it, the was it? I want to say the Wampa, but it's not the the monster, the snow monster, the Yeti that knocks Luke off the tauntaun in the beginning.
right. I know what you're talking about.
They both have white fur and horns.
Right.
Wasn't a whole lot of originality to that. So, I mean, there was, but then they just kind of replicated the idea.
Well, notice the one wasn't really much in the film originally.
No, no, but it did. It was still white fur with horns.
Oh yeah, I know.
So, I'm thinking we might do a dragon-like creature. Maybe it'd be furry. I don't know. I'm gonna have to debate it for a little bit because I don't want to draw another giant rat or ape. I like the idea of a dinosaur-like thing.
Okay.
But maybe we should bang the idea about for a day or two, because the reason that I'm saying that is that we might be able to put our heads together and think of what kind of terrain it is and what would more likely be indigenous in that terrain. Even if we're going to create something that would be believable in that area. Like you said, a lizard in snow, that doesn't really work because anything that's cold,
Right. But
they'll make them lethargic and then nap for a long time.
they're not in a cold area. I mean,
So
lizard work. Don't get me wrong. So I just
we have leopards, lynxes, like the things that I'm thinking about that are in the north and cold lands, bears,
right. I don't know.
We just have to find one or combination of them that are not the same, because I don't want to have another Khazar with a saber-toothed tiger or another He-Man with a green tiger.
Right.
Pretty soon that all starts to be the same. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we need to mix it a little bit. So I don't want to do an ultra cute thing that's running around in the desert unless it's deceptively cute. Like it's cute, but then it opens its mouth and it's like got vampire fangs or some shit. I don't know. So yeah, that's it for today. And I've got to do something.
I know.
Anyway, to all those that watched, commented, which would be a frame, Oscar the Crouch, Salient Emergency. Anyway, thanks. Anyone that likes, subscribe, followed, thanks. Good night. God bless. Much love.
Like and watch. So, eat shit.